Sunday Mass has been celebrated by Syria's Christian community for the first time since the toppling of President Bashar al-Assad. Middle East correspondent Matthew Doran reports.
Syria's new government is pledging to unify the country, but there are concerns as to exactly how that will happen, given the lead group of the rebel forces which seize control of the country, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, has its foundations in Islamist ideology, and some Syrian communities fear they will be persecuted into the future. The country's Syrian communities have celebrated Sunday Mass for the first time since the fall of the Assad regime, and they are hoping they'll be able to continue to worship in the new Syria. Meanwhile, schools in Damascus have reopened, with students raising the new Syrian flag across the country. The cost to rebuild Syria will be immense after 13 long years of civil war, and that's why the United Nations Special Envoy for Syria is calling on the international community to help. In the first instance, he says they should lift the tough economic sanctions placed upon Syria under the Assad regime, to give the new Syrian government extra support.
We need to see that this is fixed quickly. We will hopefully see a quick end to sanctions so that we can see really rallying around building up Syria again. And then, my last point, we need to see, of course, justice and accountability for crimes. And we need to make sure that that goes through a credible justice system and that we don't see any revenge.
Here in Lebanon, the militant group Hezbollah is keeping a close eye on developments in Syria. It was one of the Assad regime's chief backers, and during its reign used Syria as a backdoor to get weapons and other equipment into Lebanon. Hezbollah's new leader saying it will now have to rethink its plans.
Yes, Hezbollah has lost the military supply route through Syria at this stage, but this loss is a detail in the resistance's work. A new regime could come and this route could return to normal, and we could look for other ways. The resistance is flexible and does not stop at any particular obstacle. What matters is the continuity of resistance, while the methods and routes can change and adapt.
South of Lebanon, Israel is maintaining its military presence in the occupied Golan Heights and within Syrian territory near that border. The country's defence minister saying it's still not clear how the new Syrian government and its forces will behave towards Israel. And while the Israel Defence Forces are in something of a holding pattern, the country's Prime Minister is pressing ahead with a new plan to double the population in the occupied Golan Heights. Benjamin Netanyahu saying it is needed, particularly with one eye on what is happening in Syria, saying that he wants to bolster the Israeli presence and increase the number of Israeli settlements in that occupied area.